welcome to a special beer and food episode of
Brutal Battle.
Yes, so it's actually been a little bit since we did one of these, I think.
What was the last one?
I don't even remember. Was it the chocolates?
Was it the chocolate?
It may have been the chocolates.
Where everything was enrobed in chocolate?
Enrobed, yeah. In which case, if that was the last one, it definitely has been a while. Yeah. Like months and months, like many months. So this one, people will know by the title of it, is Beer and Corn Nuts. Now, are people out there familiar with corn nuts? If not, I will just say I love them. But I also had a really hard time finding them.
Yeah.
A lot of times I remember finding them at like gas stations, the convenience stores at gas stations. For a while they were available like 7-Eleven, Wawa, stuff like that. But we had a hard time. We went around and I feel like there's a conspiracy to push corn nuts out of the market.
Well, I don't really... Did we check at 7-Eleven?
I don't know, but we checked Wawa and we checked a few other places.
Yeah.
No grocery stores, that's for sure.
Well, at least near us.
Yeah, at least near us. It's just insanity. We ended up ordering online.
Right. It's not really
insanity. Sample pack. It is insanity. If people know how good corn nuts are, it's insanity.
Well,
plus, I believe that corn nuts will prove in this episode to be perfect with beer.
Well, perhaps. I sat down at the table and said, I feel sick to my stomach looking at these corn nuts.
Well, if that's the case, let me tell you what corn nuts are, because I'm actually going to give backstory.
And that's probably going to make me actually have diarrhea.
I hope not. So corn nuts, this is from a website called heartlandnuts.com.
Not cornnuts.com?
No. So it talks about a bunch of stuff. So corn nuts are individual kernels of corn that have been seasoned and toasted until crunchy like a nut. Invented by Albert Holloway in 1936, Rebecca. These are old school.
They were
right here.
Invented.
Yeah. Just like someone... hold on. Just like someone invented the potato chip.
I guess. It's just funny.
It's the same thing. That's not funny. Albert Holloway worked hard to create corn nuts in 1936. He created them as an accompaniment to mugs of cold beer served in taverns.
Oh.
Boom. So that's what this is intended for. It says they're sold at grocery and convenience stores across the nation, but that's bunk.
Not completely around the nation.
Maybe it used to be like that. Though originally made from everyday kernels of corn, corn nuts are now made from a Cusco corn hybrid grown in the United States that procures the giant kernels of corn found in every bag. Because they do look larger than normal.
Wait, so what is it? It's a what?
It's a Cusco, which is a variety of corn. It's like a hybrid to make the kernels larger.
A hybrid of what? Of different corns?
I assume they mean like hybrid of that
variety.
style to make the kernels bigger, would be my assumption. There are 6 different flavors of corn nuts, and they are packaged in 6 different sizes from 0.8 ounces to 7-ounce bags. The flavor... Okay, so I'll just tell you...
So there are bags smaller than what we have. Because our bags are 1 ounce.
Yeah, apparently, which that's really small.
Okay.
So I'm just going to tell you the 2 we didn't get. We have 4. I couldn't find the other 2. So the 2 that we didn't get are nacho cheese and salsa Jalisco.
That's me barfing.
No, they sound good. It's a popular snack, not just for adults. So they had a mascot, apparently, for advertising initially, called Winky the Crow.
Winky?
Winky the Crow.
The Crow?
And there was a popular slogan for them that was, "Corn Gone Wrong," was the slogan. Which I don't know. If someone tried to do that nowadays, people would be like, does it have E. coli or salmonella?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
corn gone wrong.
But, just so you know, you can make your own corn nuts at home by deep frying individual kernels of fresh corn. Prepare the kernels first by soaking in water in the refrigerator overnight, because that'll make them get bigger and more puffy. Drain the corn and take approximately 1 tablespoon at a time and gently drop kernels into about 3 to 4 inches of hot grease or oil. Use caution, well, obviously. When they turn brown and are crunchy, they're done.
That's the recipe.
So then just take them out and let them drain, and then just season them how you want. So pretty easy, folks. And there is your education on corn nuts. So now, Rebecca, that you know what corn nuts are, how do you feel? Rebecca's actually reading the back of one of the bags right now and looking disgusted. But here's the thing. We were on a road trip not long ago. It's actually when we were coming back from the State College Brew Expo in Pennsylvania. And we were coming back, and I'm like, man, I want some corn nuts for the ride. So I bought some corn nuts at the convenience store at the gas station we gassed at. And I think it was barbecue flavor. And Rebecca was like, ew, gross, how can you eat that? And then guess who ended up eating a significant amount of the bag as we were driving?
It's like a good, hangover type food.
No, it's just good in general. Okay.
It's not good.
But we're going to do this.
Of note, guess what? These are made by Kraft Food, and it says visit us at cornnuts.com.
So?
I just said it. Are you sure it's not cornnuts.com? I bet we could have just ordered from cornnuts.com.
You know, the thing is this. If I went to cornnuts.com to get my information, it'd be propaganda. For sure. I went to a third party to get the real story about corn nuts.
The history of the corn nuts.
I don't want the information from someone who has a stake in making them sound better than they are.
Well, you'd have to just disclose that information.
Yeah, exactly.
And let the listeners make their own educated decision on their feelings of the corn nuts. The corn nut.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the beers. So I have one beer for each type of corn nuts that I picked out. Although if we are tasting and we're like, oh, I think this beer might go better with this, we might just decide to try that as well. So we're going to go through the beer, then try the corn nut, then try them together, and then keep going. All right, so the first beer I have is Cali Creamin. It's a vanilla cream ale by Mother Earth Brew Company, and they are out of... They're out of two places, actually. Vista, California, and Nampa, Idaho. Yeah, they have two locations. And the ABV is 5%.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Oh, no, I just cut my nails. It's in a can. It's hard. When you cut your nails, it's really hard to get under these tabs. Hate it.
They have a tool for that.
There's a tool for that.
There is.
All right, so there's your Cali Creamin. Pour a little bit for myself.
The name of this beer sounds dirty.
It does. It definitely sounds dirty. All right, so let's talk about the coloration. Looks like a yellowish, orangish.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
There you go. Say very clear.
I mean, most cream ales are pretty clear. Color? Oh, smells like a cream ale.
Yeah. And you definitely get that vanilla.
Yeah, the vanilla is very present, which is really nice because, I mean, how many times have we had beers in our personal lives and on this podcast where it calls out a specific ingredient, you smell it, you taste it, and you're like, where is this friggin' beer?
Yeah.
Or where is this ingredient in the friggin' beer? Yeah. So yeah, definitely a lot. It's got it does have like a corn finish on the nose. A little bit of weediness, corniness.
Corny, so corny.
Naked Cheerios.
Cereal. Yeah.
But it smells very clean, refreshing, and vanilla-y, which is important.
And I feel like it tastes exactly how it smells.
Yeah. Even down to that corn and weediness on the end. Like a little bit of hay.
And it has that finish that I like.
Now the thing is, the vanilla is mainly all up front. It doesn't really linger. What lingers is those aftertastes like the corn and the hay.
Okay.
That's what lingers. Okay, so the first corn nut we're doing with this, which people could probably guess.
It's just the original.
It's just a regular.
Just a regular.
It's a regular corn nut.
Regular old corn nut.
All right, let's go ahead and you're going to hear crunching in this episode, folks. It's just crunchy, roasty.
It tastes like a Frito.
It does actually a lot. Yeah. That's one of the things about these. Yeah, they taste a lot like Fritos, which maybe part of the reason we're having a hard time finding them is because Frito-Lay is really squeezing the market to push these guys out because they taste like Fritos.
I feel like these could be good on top of chili.
Yeah, well, and that's what people do with Fritos.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is...
But these are better because they're smaller.
Yes. Well, and these taste like Fritos because this is what Fritos are. They're just formed differently.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a nut, corn in nature.
Yeah, so honestly, people, if you can't find corn nuts, you can substitute Fritos. Although I would lobby for the actual corn nuts if you can get them. There's also, in my opinion, something that's a little more fun about eating a corn nut versus a Frito. Because Fritos are just like flat, and these are like more textured. Like there's more crunch. There's more to go through when you bite. And I'm big on textures. I really like a nice crunch with things. Okay. So that's what I like about this. This is so good. They're decently salty is something that needs to be called out. So if you're very sensitive to sodium, it's probably not for you. But corny,
or if you're also sensitive to
some other ingredients,
any of the ingredients
we may not
here,
know what they are.
Artificial sodium enhancers, blah 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 stuff I can't pronounce. So it actually
have a corn nut and a beer.
Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
It doesn't work. I don't think.
It doesn't?
Well,
in what
sense? It takes at least with this one because of the vanilla. I feel like it takes all the vanilla out of the beer.
It does downplay the vanilla, but it also takes a lot of that corn out of the beer.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
It doesn't work for me.
It makes it a little more hay driven. So, okay, so here's the thing. I agree with you. It does kind of take the vanilla out, but it also makes the beer cleaner of a finish.
Okay.
Because you're not really getting like the corn finish in that.
Like, I like
hay.
that finish. So for me, no likey.
So, but here's the thing. If this was not a vanilla cream ale, it was just a straight cream ale.
Then maybe this could work.
Then it would enhance the beer, in my opinion. The fact that there's the vanilla in this and we like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with it, but if it was just a straight cream ale, it would definitely enhance the corn nuts would enhance the beer because it's giving it a cleaner, more refreshing finish.
Right.
And focusing more on the flavors up front that you like about cream ales and I mean I like. So, just saying.
Okay. So that was pairing number 1.
Yep. Let's do a rinse here.
Carlin's into a rinse. I'm going to grab our second beer, which is by RAR. And they are from Cambridge, Maryland. And it is their Country Ride Pale Ale, 5.4%.
So most likely this is like an American-style pale ale because RAR is well known for hoppiness.
Okay.
They're all about the hops.
That back to you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and get your water out of there. Okay. A little bit of this Country Ride. Okay. So let's give it a shot. So RAR, just so people know, RAR is, or at least around us, very well known for their 16-ounce cans that they do at like special releases, which you have to basically wait in line for. So they do a lot of hazy IPAs like that. But they're also pretty well known for doing kind of like a smoothie style sour, where it's like a sour beer with fruit and like vanilla or like some sort of lactose typically added to it. Much like we've talked about Burley Oak and their sours, it's very much like the Burley Oak sours. So all the stuff that they put in stores is not what they're most known for and what's most popular.
This has a little haze to it.
A little bit. Kind of expected that.
Yellow orangish.
Yeah. Actually, the color's pretty close to what the cream ale was, to be honest.
I think this has more orange to it.
Yeah, a little bit more. But close. Yeah. That smells more hop-driven than you assume from a typical pale.
Yeah.
I was expecting that.
There's a decent hop on the nose, for sure. Yeah.
It's a nice citrusy hoppiness.
Yeah, but it's not like juicy citrus.
Yeah. It's a little sugary smelling.
It's a little sugary. You're getting definitely some of the citrus. And then I think there's a little bit of a pine undertone.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a little bit like sugary citrus candy.
Yeah,
almost.
a little resiny.
Yeah, definitely. Slight bit of that candy Smarties.
Okay.
Which I usually get in hoppy beers from Trogs, but I'm picking that up in here. Yeah, and good job calling out the pine, because it's not super out there. It's like kind of an afternote at the very back of each sniff, so good job ferreting that out.
I said it's an undertone.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying
good job.
It wasn't easy
ferreting that out.
It's giving you props for really getting in there on that beer.
I took my first sip. It's really nice. It's a nice, flavorful pale ale.
The nose reminds me a little bit of their Nanacoke Nectar IPA, which is pretty solid. Yeah, this is really easy.
Yeah, it's a nice, easy, flavorful beer.
It's got a decent mouthfeel, too.
Yeah.
It's like a medium-low mouthfeel, which is a little more than I was expecting, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I really enjoy this.
Yeah, I like a nice mouthfeel, but it's a lot of citrus. It is a lot of citrus. There is a little bit of that sweetness coming in at the end, like we were talking about getting in the nose.
Again, it's another beer that kind of just tastes how it smells, which is nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like there is like a little bit of that kind of cereal finish.
Okay.
At the end of it.
Okay. Now this one we are pairing with the ranch corn nut.
Ranch corn nuts, buddy. Now these, one of my lesser favorite flavors, but still good.
You have had these ranch corn nuts?
I've had ranch corn nuts before. Rebecca, I have had plenty of corn nuts in my life. Well,
when?
Not plenty, but the things I do in secret.
Oh, is this like something you did in college?
Well, usually when you go out with like your work friends, I'll like crack a beer, put on some light music, lay in just my boxers on the bed.
Douse yourself in corn nuts?
Very seductively eat some corn nuts. Just me and the corn nuts for a night.
This is kind of really, really weird.
No, I don't love them that much, but... So your thoughts on the flavor?
I like the flavor of the ranch.
I mean, I feel like the spice blend on it is a very typical ranch flavoring. Kind of reminiscent of like ranch Doritos, cool ranch Doritos, sorry, but I think more toned down than that, a little less bold. Once again, corny, roasted, definitely a good amount of salt to it.
Yeah, I feel like these are less...
I like it though.
I perceive less salt because of the other flavors in this.
I agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I'm not going to like any of these pairings. For me, so I feel like it just takes all the citrus out of the beer.
It does. It totally does. Wow. So I'm wondering if that's really like the salt that's doing that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I wonder what type of beer these corn nuts were made to go with in the 1930s.
I don't know. But this like, it makes the beer just taste like dirty malt.
It's just, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like dirty malt grain.
Maybe we should have tried this with like macros to see if it would make macros taste better.
Probably not. Yeah, this is not a good pairing.
The first one wasn't a good pairing.
Well, Albert, when he created corn nuts the 30s, they did not have craft beer.
Yes, they did not anticipate.
So he wasn't making it for this. He was probably making it for like, honestly, what he was making it for was just super bland, like lagers, I bet, with plenty of diacetyl in them.
Okay. You ready for number 3?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Heavy Seas.
Out of Baltimore.
Is this just called 23?
Yeah, it's their 23rd anniversary beer.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been around for 23 years. Yes, they're as far as Maryland goes, they're one of the oldest breweries in Maryland.
And it is a triple IPA, and it is 11.5%.
I hope I don't taste that.
Well, we'll find out.
I don't want to taste all 11.5. I really hope that the hopping, like, hides it well. Because that could be real rough.
Ooh, it's pretty red-orange.
Well, it's going to be more syrupy and
Yeah.
dark if it's that high.
And
ABV.
I want to say this can again, because the can art is really cool.
It is cool. It's really cool. It's kind of like pirate death metal.
Yeah, there's
sense.
like a volcano of skulls. It's kind of playful, though. It's not super
right.
dark.
It's like slightly cartoonish.
And it says the can art is done by One Drop Studio.
It's good artwork. It's got like skulls on it and an erupting volcano and like some waves, giant waves coming in, a bunch of skulls. It's really cool.
So yes, this definitely has some. It's orangish red.
It kind of looks like a Scotch ale.
Yeah,
in its darkness.
Yeah.
Like
I can see that.
Not quite as dark as a Scotch ale, but close. Yeah, it's really like reddish orangish. That's crazy.
And even the head has some color
to it. Yeah, I agree. It smells syrupy as hell. It smells thick.
It does.
Does it? What is that?
I don't know. I am kind of stumped.
There's definitely some pine in there.
Okay, that's the only thing I could get. I'm like, there's definitely pine, and then beyond that,
it's just like syrupy pine.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of some sort of citrus note in there, but I'm having a really hard time picking out what that is. This one also smells kind of sugary.
I was just going to say brown sugar.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's that sweetness would be brown sugar.
But not like a dark brown sugar, just more of like a light brown sugar.
I feel like I get like a little bit like a Necco wafer in the end of this each sniff.
I don't know if I know exactly what a Necco wafer.
You bought Necco wafers for yourself at some point this year.
Oh, they weren't for me. They were for someone else.
Oh, okay. I thought those were for you. All right, let's try this bad boy. Like I said, I don't want to taste this 11.5. It's really syrupy. It's like really thick. Your thoughts? Rebecca looks like she might not want to say anything.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this because this is typically not a style, or I don't like syrupy. But I kind of like this.
There's definitely pine. It's definitely like very piney. I do get a little bit of that Necco wafer, like in the flavor at the end, like I was talking about.
I mean, it definitely tastes boozy.
Yeah, it's really boozy.
Oh, I wouldn't say really.
Well, I mean, not really boozy in the sense that it tastes like overly astringent.
Right.
But
it warms you up.
Right, exactly. You could tell that it's high alcohol is what I'm saying. And part of that is with how syrupy it is.
Right.
It's very thick.
It's not astringent. And when beers get like astringent like that, I'm like, I can't drink this. I could drink this. I don't need to buy more of this. But I think there's a place for this in the market. I think people would like it.
So I'd say overall, I do like this beer. I don't really particularly like that little Necco wafer flavor at the end, but there's a good amount of pine in this, and I like the way the pine is presented in this beer. And I think for being as large as it is, even though it is thick, it's smooth.
Smooth. Okay.
So I don't love the beer, but I like the beer. So that'd be pretty good.
This one is going to be paired with the chili picante
with lemon. So with lemon. So like a hot chili with lemon. But real quick, I'd rinse my palate if I were you.
Why?
Because the lupulin and hops is going to take the heat down. So you should cleanse your palate first. That way you're going to be able to tell most the real difference between having the corn nut on its own versus having it with the beer.
Yes, I want all of the flavors of the corn nut.
Chili picante.
Definitely get the lemon.
Yeah. There's a good amount of lemon in there. It tastes like the base corn nut.
With lemon.
With lemon. There's a definite, like, hot spice to it. Like a specifically chili tasting spice. It's not hot initially, but it builds a little bit. It does.
A little.
I know, but it builds a little bit. And if you keep eating, you'll build a... So eat a few, so you get a little bit.
I had enough.
Well, there's a point to what I'm doing here. Keep eating until you feel like you get a decent amount of heat building up.
I don't get heat building up as much as you do, though.
For me, it just keeps building. And along with that, I taste the lemon even more.
They're so lemony.
They are very lemony.
It almost should be lemon corn nuts.
These are ones that, honestly, I wouldn't buy.
You said that about the ranch.
Yeah, they're not my favorite either. But I would buy the ranch over these. Just because, like, I'm not big on heat, and the lemon is a lot.
The lemon's too much.
So the beer? I feel like it... Oh, go ahead. You were going to say something? No, go.
I was going to say, I feel like this is the best pairing because it doesn't...
I agree.
It doesn't really take away anything from the beer. And if anything, I think it makes it... I perceive less booze.
Yeah, I definitely perceive less booze. I think it extinguishes the heat in my mouth. The beer extinguishes the heat that's in my mouth. Just like washing over it. And I feel like it makes this beer... I feel like it enhances the pine a little bit, and it makes it a little brown sugary, in my opinion. Which I wasn't tasting that initially, but after having these corn nuts, I feel like I taste a brown sugar note in there too.
Yeah, I think just the thickness, the heaviness of this beer kind of stands up to the corn nut.
Mm-hmm. Because those are like relatively aggressive flavors, especially that lemon.
Yeah.
Like that lemon is like aggressive. All right, here's a rinse.
Okay.
That was good. I'm going to be honest. I like the beer more with the corn nuts. This is the first pairing where I feel like it legit works. Yeah. And I like the beer more with the corn nuts because it brings the corn nuts into check.
Yeah. Okay. I can
takes down the lemon, takes down the heat. It's nice.
Okay. So our last beer is a porter by Manor Hill Brewing. Mm-hmm. And Manor Hill is out of Ellicott City, Maryland. And it is 5.5%.
Yeah. So it just ended up this way. We just went and selected these beers, but it ended up being that...
Yeah, 3 are from Maryland.
Yeah, well, first of all, 3 are from...
That's bubbling over and coming down the side.
No, it's fine. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's fine. But it also ended up happening that, Manor Hill is a brewery. We've had beers on the podcast before, but haven't for a long time. So we haven't even talked about them for quite a while. So it's good to revisit. The same thing with Heavy Seas. We haven't had them on in a while, and it's good to revisit them, especially because they're very historically important to Maryland. Hugh Sissons, who's the owner and one of the founders, he's known for having done a lot for the craft beer industry in Maryland, like pushing through laws that have been really good for making it easier to have a craft brewery and distribute and everything. So big ups to Hugh. And then RAR. We just had their Groove City on. Yeah. So they were kind of recent, but we haven't had a ton of their stuff. Mother Earth Brew, California / Idaho. And it's never had anything from them.
Every time I hear Idaho, I just want to say Idaho.
Yo, Idaho. You is Daho.
This looks so pretty as it's poured. Good. Like the head is just like that beautiful tan chocolate milk.
Yeah.
You know when like you're a kid and you blow bubbles in your chocolate milk?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what it looks like.
I feel like that's a child rite of passage. Yeah. Like you have to do that.
I mean, we would do it so much. Our mom would just like keep yelling at us. We would just keep doing it, and it would bubble. We, you perfect to the point where like it bubbles up so much, but it doesn't quite overflow, and then it comes back down.
Yeah. Does it look like a porter?
Yeah, it's dark. It's
dark. It looks more like color. I can't even see anything around the edges.
It's dark.
Well, and it has a really dark brown head. It looks more like an imperial stout.
Yeah.
Rather than a porter. Although the nomenclature, semantics, you can kind of change it however you want. It smells odd to me. Does it smell a little like grilled chicken?
I don't even know if I want to admit that if it does.
It smells like barbecued chicken.
Rice?
That's a reference from the movie The Room. Barbecue chicken rice.
No. It's definitely like roasted malt. And it smells a little bitter.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This smells like barbecue chicken. From the grill. It's weird. It's very weird.
You mean just like chicken from the grill, not chicken with barbecue sauce.
Yes. Chicken with barbecue sauce.
Oh.
Because there's a little bit of a tanginess. It's like a ketchup-based barbecue sauce with like some cumin in it. It's weird, man. It's weird.
I didn't know. I'm not getting that at all. Are you sure you don't have seasoning from the nut in your nose?
I didn't snort it. I'm serious. That's what I smell. It's really weird. But as I continue to smell it...
I'm not getting any of that.
It's good. I hope I don't taste any of that. That's
okay.
Weird. Maybe it's just a moment where like my brain's confused. There's some weirdness.
Okay, so I just took a sip. Take a sip.
Well, hold on. I just want to say, as I continue to sniff it, I am smelling like a chalky dark chocolate in there.
Give me the water. I want to rinse my mouth.
This water? Oh no, like my
water glass.
Cup of water. Think something's going on there? I get a flash of that barbecue chicken up front, dude.
I know.
I'm not kidding.
I got that too when I first took a sip, and I'm like, let me just rinse and see. But
I'm telling you, barbecue chicken up front. It does go away kind of fast, but it's there.
I'm not getting barbecue. I kind of get what you're saying, but it doesn't taste like that for me.
Okay.
For me, I'm perceiving more of like a smoke.
Okay. Yeah. There's a decent smoke to it, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a little... Yeah, it's definitely kind of smoky, almost a little bit of like a tobacco to it.
I don't particularly like that. Okay.
Dark chocolate, definitely coming through. And the more I drink it, like the less of that I'm getting. That like kind of barbecue chicken. And maybe part of it is my association with that barbecue chicken. Maybe a lot of that has to do with the influence of what that smells like to me.
Yeah.
Because obviously smell and taste are so closely related.
Well, this will be interesting because the corn nut we have paired with this is barbecue.
Yes. And I feel like tasting this could be a really good pairing. It could be. I'm rinsing now. Now this, I'm going to be honest, this probably is my favorite corn nut. Barbecue.
How many people have a favorite corn nut?
This guy. Probably you after this episode.
Okay.
That's some good barbecue, right?
It is the best corn nut in the lineup.
That's what I'm saying. Once again, like the other flavored ones, the salinity, like the saltiness comes down. And I think that's a part of why I like it so much. It's probably the least salty of all of them. And like there's a nice amount of cumin in that barbecue mix. And paprika. Like the cumin and the paprika in there tastes really nice.
Paprika.
If there's not cumin, it tastes like cumin.
The ranch had cumin.
Oh, did it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could taste it in that too. But the barbecue has a bit of a sweetness to it. You know how there's like different types of barbecues? There's like a hot type of barbecue. There's like a sweet and there's a tangy. This one's a little bit more of like a sweet with like a little bit of that tangy. which I like.
So, of note, the one with the highest sodium content
is the chili picante.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. I would have thought it would be the original.
Mm-mm. And actually, the ranch has more than the original.
Huh. Can't perceive it. Flavors. The beer.
I mean,
I think it makes the beer creamier.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It makes it leathery.
This is kind of hard for me because the beer by itself, I'm just kind of like...
You weren't a huge fan of.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think the corn nut did anything to help or hurt the beer.
This is how I think it changed the beer. It took the dark chocolate notes out.
Right, which I liked.
It made it creamier, and it accentuated the tobacco, and it gave it a little bit of a leather note. So, if you're more into like those tobacco-y, ashy, leathery porter notes, then the barbecue corn nuts with the beer is what you're looking for. But if that's not your thing, then yeah.
So I guess pairing-wise, we have definitely the IPA and the chili picante. I guess followed by the porter and the barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
By the way, going from the beer to the corn nut, it's making the corn nut way more tangy.
Mm.
And like kind of like tasting like it's more ketchup-y driven and making it more salty in perception. So just saying.
Okay. Okay, so best pairing was the Heavy Seas Triple IPA and the Chili Picante.
Yeah, for sure.
The second best was the Manor Hill Porter with the barbecue.
Yep.
And then, what are you feeling about the other two?
The Mother Earth, the Cali Creamin by Mother Earth Brew and the original corn nuts, I think. Because, like I said, if this was a straight cream ale,
well, right,
that would have been a really good pairing, I think.
Okay, I could get behind that. And then the RAR Pale Ale with the ranch.
Yeah, that one, those just didn't work.
Yeah.
Did not work. Now, is there anything that you think, if we switch any of this up, would be good?
I don't think so. I think the flavor of a corn nut is just... To me, the corn nuts are good for, like, after you've been drinking.
Oh, right. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Like, I don't want to eat corn nuts while I'm drinking.
It's much like people who, you're done drinking and you just want to eat a bunch of potato chips or something. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Or Doritos or, Fritos, whatever. So, yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah, I don't think... Well, and the big thing is, all of the nuts, they have a strong base flavor that carries all the way through each one. So all you're adding is a little bit of spices, and varying degrees of saltiness. So,
and then you probably want us to rank these beers.
Yeah, we want to rank these beers for sure. So real quick, hopefully people learned something from this.
Which is,
I mean, Chili Picante, corn nuts, and triple IPA.
Oh.
I mean, IPA in general probably pretty good, but more on the malty side, I think, would be good. But also, if you like the more like leathery, ashy, tobacco-y porter notes, then porter with the barbecue corn nuts is for you. Yeah. So okay,
this is such a thick porter.
Yeah, it's...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like I said, it looks more like an Imperial Stout, so... Alright. Beer ranking time.
Go ahead.
I'm getting more smokiness on that porter now, too. Okay, so... What? I
need my top two.
This is kind of hard for me to, like, actually do the ranking. Much like a bunch of the episodes we've done recently, I need to go back and taste a little of this, a little of that. Okay, I see that. You are dancing in your chair for what reason?
Because it's Saturday night.
I like that. Okay, you go before me.
Okay, I'm going. I am going to say my number 1 is the Cali Creamin.
Okay.
By Mother Earth. Number 2, I'm going to go with the RAR Pale Ale. I think number 3, I'm going to go Heavy Seas Triple IPA, and then the Manor Hill Porter.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to agree with you on that. Yeah, I'm 100% agreeing. The Mother Earth Cali Creamin Vanilla Cream Ale, the RAR Country Ride Pale Ale, the Heavy Seas 23 Triple IPA, and the Manor Hill Porter. They're really close though for me.
All of them?
Yeah, kind of. Like in their succession, like I feel it's like in a race with like bicyclists when there's like, it looks like there's almost like a log jam coming into the finish, that it's kind of like that. Like
jam.
Like 1 is right behind 2.
Bicycle log jam.
No, like, yes. So it's like 2 is like right behind 1 and like 3 is right behind 2, and it's
like no one's trailing way behind.
Yeah, so it's like 1 and 4, there's a decent-ish amount of space between them, but
not individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is a very interesting analogy.
And to be honest, I had a hard time between the Country Ride and the Cali Creamin for first.
I had really trouble with 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4.
I had trouble. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So it was kind of like it was basically a photo finish, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I like all these beers. I do.
I like the top 2 more than the bottom.
Well, yes, me too. Me too, but
Okay.
So overall,
these corn nuts can be wrapped up and you can take them to work.
Until you're done drinking beer, and then you're going to be like, oh, it would be really awesome right now?
Ice cream.
Corn nuts.
Ice cream.
Or maybe ice cream with corn nut topping.
Oh, yuck. Oh, God, no.
That sounds bad.
Sounds so bad.
Well, depending on the ice cream, because there are some savory ice creams out there.
No.
Just saying.
I don't think if I never eat another corn nut again, my life could be okay.
All right. We may have marital issues now because you're talking a lot of smack about my corn nuts. Albert is turning in his grave. Terrible.
Yeah, I don't.
That man did a service to society.
I mean, he worked with what he had.
He's an innovator. They're okay. This is a bold statement.
You've had a lot of bold statements,
but this is a bold statement. There may be no Fritos today if corn nuts didn't come along.
No, I don't.
Just saying.
No.
Corn nuts are the original Frito.
I want to know. I need some proof to this.
And better.
I need resources.
All right. Sorry. Anyway, we've gone on long enough. Hopefully this was fun and at least somewhat educational for people. But we'll have to try and pick our brains for what we can do for the next beer and food episode. And people, if you have any ideas, let us know. Email brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com and say, you know what I'd really like to hear paired with beers on your episode? Whatever. Is it sushi? I don't know.
No.
Is it Thai food?
No.
Maybe.
No. No.
Is it different types of seaweed? Possible.
Okay. You need to go to bed or something. You're coming up with horrible ideas.
Different flavors of Twizzler?
No.
Okay, anyway. Oh, I sorry, this is going along, but one last thought. When I do think about these episodes, the beer and food episodes, I usually think back to one beer and food pairing in particular. Do you know what that would be?
No.
The Trogs Brewing Jovial Belgian Double with Skittles.
Oh.
Because not only was it an awesome pairing, but it was so mind-blowing that it was an awesome pairing.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing, but it works so well.
Had the Halloween, the candy.
Yeah, that was the leftover Halloween candy, which I think was last year.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was a year ago.
I think
it wasn't this year.
Well, no, I think it was 2 years ago.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway. Okay. Well, thanks for
Yes.
listening. Hit us up on the social media. And always remember to
Keep it brutal.
This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.